So today we are going to be covering the warm-ups for SOL 8.3 and 8.4. SOL 8.3 covers perfect squares and square roots, and SOL 8.4 involves practical problems with consumer applications. So we are going to start with SOL 8.3. Question number 1 says, find the following square roots. So this is something that we can do in Desmos in our calculator. So the square root of 100 is positive 10. Remember that there are actually two square roots for here. We have positive 10 and we have negative 10. Because 10 times 10 equals positive 100, and negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100. Negative square root of 49 specifies that they want the negative square root. Remember to put that negative on the outside of the radical symbol, or else you will get an undefined answer. So we say negative square root of 49. So we say negative square root of 49, which is negative 7. For the square root of 324, we have 18. We could also say negative 18. For the square root of 1, we can say 1 or negative 1. The last asks us specifically for the negative square root. So the negative square root of 121 is negative 11. Number 2 says the square root of 30 falls between which two consecutive whole numbers. So let's find the square root of 30, which is 5.477. If we were to round down from this number, we would have 5. So our answer has to have a 5 in it. If we were to round up, we would have 6. So the answer is C, 5 and 6. Number 3, which square root lies between 7 and 8 on the number line? So we need to find those square roots. The square root of 42 is about 6.5. That does not fall between 7 and 8. The square root of 48 is 6.9. That does not fall between 7 and 8. The square root of 60 is 7.7. That does fall between 7 and 8. And the square root of 65 is 8.1, and that does not fall between 7 and 8. Also, 7 squared is 49, and 8 squared is 64. So we knew that the number inside the radical symbol had to be in between 49 and 64. Now for the problems involving consumer applications. Target is having a Mother's Day sale on clothing. All spring dresses are 35% off the regular price. If Norman purchases a dress for his mother that originally cost $39.99, how much will the discount be? So in this problem, we aren't finding the resulting sales price. We just want to know the amount of discount. So we have to find what is 35% of $39.99. What portion of that $39.99 is 35%? Fortunately, Desmos has a great percentage feature that we can take advantage of here. So 35% of $39.99. It's important to remember when we're dealing with money that we always round to the hundredths place. Because the 9 is rounded up, and because the 9 is again rounded up, we end up rounding to $14. Question 2. Daryl wants to buy a video game that costs $59.99. If there is a 6.5% sales tax on the item, what will the total cost be for Daryl? So in this case, we don't just find the amount of tax, we also have to find the cost after the tax. So using the same formula, I need to find what that portion, that 6.5% of $59.99 is. And we can do that with Desmos. So 6.5% of $59.99. Again, with these kinds of problems, I do like to hold this in the calculator until the end, but when we finish, we are going to round to 2 decimal places. So the tax is approximately $3.89. That would round up to $3.90. Now what's important here is, do we add tax or subtract tax? So in all cases, we add the amount of tax to the original cost of the item. So we would need to take that $59.99 and add that amount of sales tax. So in Desmos, we can type in $59.99 plus our previous answer. So we get $63.89 once we round. We actually would have gotten the same answer whether we would have rounded in the beginning or at the end, but in some cases it can make a difference. Number 3. Alyssa saved up enough money to open a checking account. Initially, she deposits $85 into his account. She then withdraws $20 and writes a check for $12.50. Later, she deposits another $50 into her account. How much money does Alyssa have in her checking account? So it's important to remember which of these is positive or addition and which is negative or subtraction. Deposit is always addition or positive. It even has the first part of the word positive in it. So she's initially going to deposit that 85. So that's positive 85. When we withdraw money, we're taking money away from the bank account. So that is subtraction. So minus 20. And when we write a check, that also removes money from our bank account. So that is also subtraction. Again, we have that addition of $50, a deposit. So now we just run the numbers in our calculator. 85 minus 20 minus 12.5 plus 50, and we end up with $102.50.